Champions Cup round 3, the Saturday games. There's 6 interesting matchups, and that you've got the 2 losers, the 2 winners. These guys kind of fighting it out, and then there's a couple which in theory should be pretty one-sided. We will see. I'll go through the teams, some of the predictions by the bookies, and current standings and whatnot, and you guys can let me know your thoughts. As always, the first one, Lyon up against Benetton. French team, Italian team. I'm not sure how much people care about this outside of the French and Italian speaking world, because it's hard to find any news about it. I could find a basic lineup. I couldn't really find any articles, opinion pieces about it a little bit. I guess it is harder when there's not one of the teams that has an English following audience to find media about it in English. I guess that kind of makes sense. But basically both these teams have lost their first games, and in all likelihood this pool's going to be between these fellas, most likely Leinster, but I guess we will see. There's still, no wins for Lyon, no wins for Benetton. Lyon's got a point, Benetton's got 2. I guess mathematically, but hey, one of these teams should pick up a win this weekend. Lyon's playing some of their big guns. Remember, they're doing quite well in top 14. I think they lost last week to, Montpellier. Charlie Nata is playing there in the midfield. I see Rudy Wolf's on the bench. Demba Bumba's on the bench. Wisniewski's there at 10. This game's on at 2 in the morning, so I'm probably not going to watch it. I do like the look of the Benetton team. They have played exciting in both their games where they've lost. Ruzza's there, Quaglio, Negri, Esposito, Benvenuti. So a lot of the stars of that Italian side are there. But yeah, I kind of wouldn't begrudge Benetton a win, to be honest, because I have been enjoying the games that I've watched of theirs. They've been going down swinging. So that's you'd kind of prefer that than them being very conservative. That being said, the algorithm for Rugby Forecast got Lyon by 13, and the bookies have got them by 16. So they're not giving Benetton much of a chance, but I don't know if they'll get a win, but I like to think they'll put up a bit of a closer fight than that will Benetton. We will see. The next one, Northampton against Leinster. I probably will watch this one. It is on at 2 a.m., but the fact that it's the 2 heavyweights of the pool who are both undefeated kind of going up against each other, there's nothing between these teams. They're both on 9 points. They're separated only by points difference. I think I have to watch this one, but I'll watch it delayed because 2 a.m. is not a friendly time for us down here in New Zealand. It's a bit too late to stay up and a bit too early to get up. So, yeah. Perfect records, like I said, well, not perfect because you could get bonus point wins, but still undefeated. Whoever wins this one puts themselves in a pretty good position. I think Leinster would definitely like to pick up an away win here to really put a stranglehold on the pool, but Northampton aren't going to make it easy. Looking at the Northampton squad, Hutchinson and Proctor is a pretty good midfield. Nairevoro is always a threat out on that left wing. Bigger's been in good form. Corbus Reinach is still there. So, yeah, Ratuni Yara was there. It's a solid looking squad, although I probably do like the forward pack from Leinster a little bit better, but it is almost like an international forward pack when you look at them. Not to throw any shade at the Northampton squad. They're looking very, very good as well, but Lama's at fullback, Dave Carney's on the wing. Ringrose and Henshaw, speaking of useful midfields, man, that's it there. Gibson Park and Sexton are the 9-10 combo. Like the forward pack though, Kean, Healy, Andrew Porter, Devon Toner, James Ryan, Reece Ruddock, Josh Van der Fleer. That's just big names all throughout this Leinster squad. The fact that you got guys like Rob Carney, Ross Byrne, and Luke McGrath on the bench, along with Ty Furlong, Scott Vardy. It's a pretty strong looking Leinster team. Interestingly, this is one where the bookies and the forecast, the algorithm, have actually got the exact same prediction, which is Leinster by 5 points. So to pick up that away win, they are favoured. Hopefully it's a good game. I'm not sure what the weather forecast is like over there in Northampton at the weekend, but yeah, here's hoping for a good game. The next one, I've wrote on the wrong piece of paper. This piece of paper, the team whose jersey I'm wearing. The next one, let's try that again. La Rochelle up against Glasgow. La Rochelle aren't in a good position, are they? Yeah, 2 losses. I've got to wear this shirt while I get a chance because I can't see them making it out of the pool. It is pool 2. They are 4th. They are on 0. They are pretty much gone. Glasgow are 3rd on 4 points. So yeah, it's it's a tough ask. But hey, La Rochelle's still got a few good players in their squad. Rataz has been in good form, and he is on the right wing. They've brought in a few guys like Jolmes, Tanguy, Aguilon. I haven't seen these guys in the last Champions Cup game for La Rochelle. I'm not sure if they were playing in the top 4 or not. You got like Secure Barlow on the bench, so it's a solid looking squad. I'm certainly more familiar with the Glasgow squad. Glasgow weren't good enough in their last game against Exeter, at least in the Champions Cup anyway. And I think I saw them lose against Leinster. So they've had some tough games recently. So they'll be definitely cracking for a win here. They've brought back, in terms of the Champions Cup squad, Allen is at number 1. Gray's in the second row. Gibbons is back in the back row, so that's good news. Matawalu's there on the wing. Seymour's still at fullback. Greg and Johnson in the midfield. So, Vandermeer's there. Hastings, George Horn. Good looking squad. Over in France is definitely not going to be easy, but La Rochelle are kind of there for the taking, and they seem to have rotated their squad a fair bit. So, La Rochelle were kind of accused the kind of 80s or whatever dirty tactics in their last game, so it'll be interesting to see if the kind of cards are a factor in this one. But either way, actually, La Rochelle are slight favourites for this one. 1 point with the algorithm and 2 points for the bookies. So Glasgow, in terms of their own, I think it was them that snuck through last season with 2 losses. They were like the bottom qualifier. If they get a win here, they certainly give themselves a lot better shot. If they lose it, you feel like it's going to be a pretty long road home. But it should be a good game. I'm hoping for a good one there. Will I bet to be able to see that one? 4:15. We'll see what time I get to bed tonight. The next one, Ulster up against Harlequins. Ulster been flying high, man. 2 wins. They're on 8 points because they haven't been, kind of blowing teams off the park, but solid. And Cooney has been just phenomenal. So I'm glad to see he's still there. Billy Burns at 10. Interestingly, Stockdale's at fullback. Have I ever seen Stockdale play fullback? I'm not sure. I don't recall seeing him play fullback, but then again, I've only been watching the Champions Cup for a couple of years, kind of week in, week out, and there's a lot of Pro 14 games that have gone without me seeing them, so you guys will be in a better position to educate me there. But still, outside those guys, Geordie Murphy 7, Marcel Coetzee 8, Rob Herring's there, Ian Henderson's captain, second row. It's a pretty good looking Ulster team. They deserve to be top of the pool thus far. Remember, Quins are in 3rd on 4 points. Bath didn't get any points against Clermont, so they are stuck at the bottom on 2. Clermont did go up to 11 points with that bonus point win, so they haven't done Ulster a favour by losing. But yeah, Quins could certainly do Clermont a favour by getting a win here, but Ulster will be looking to go 3 from 3. So, the Quins squad, it's full of international talent as well. Joe Marler's there, Carl Sinclair, so it's a pretty darn good looking prop and duo. Kunatani, Rob Shaw, Danny Kerr, Marcus Smith. There's Campagnaro. There's talent throughout the squad as well. Away from home, it is going to be tough. I feel like that's going to be a pretty hard one for them. So the bookies and the algorithm have got Ulster and pretty comfortably both times. 12 points for the algorithm, 11 points for the bookies, so only a point within it. But either way, Ulster go into this one as pretty comfortable favourites. Good to see my man Matt Faddis is on the bench. Good utility player, can cover half the back line. But yeah, will I get to see this one? I'll watch them all highlights, but to be honest, there's another game which I've kind of got my eyes on, and that's the one I'm getting to here. Munster up against Saracens. This is probably one I'm going to watch. It's on at 6:30 in the morning. I can definitely get up for 6:30 and potentially watch that one and that one at the same time, because it's kind of, on paper, very interesting looking games. Not that the other ones aren't. I suppose if you were going to drop a game, it's probably that one, because neither of those teams has won yet. All the other games have got something to like about them. But there's something about this one, and I've read in The Guardian that they said there's supposedly going to be a really good crowd for this one, so let's hope so. Munster are a win and a draw. They're second, alongside Racing on 7 points. So Racing on, I think, points difference, which is not much, are slightly ahead in first, but they're both on 7 points. So with Munster not getting a win in that game against Racing, they will definitely need to get a win here. I think this is a pressure game for them. They've picked a pretty strong team, whereas Saracens not so much. So this might be a good chance for them to kind of capitalise on that. Saracens having those points deducted in the Premiership seem to be putting their eggs in that basket, which is fair enough, because you got to retain your Premiership status at all costs, and one of those costs is going to be the Champions Cup by the looks of things. So the Munster squad, I mean, you got Tyke Burn in the back row alongside O'Mahony and Stander. That's our world-class back row right there. Jean Klein's there, Billy Holland, Stephen Archer, James Cronin, Niall Scannell, Conor Murray. Hanrahan gets the nod at 10. Keith Earls, Andrew Conway, who's probably my favourite Irish winger at the moment. There's also Stockdale, but he's playing fullback, so it doesn't count for this week. Chris Farrell. It's a pretty good looking team. You look at Saracens, and I mean, I'm not trying to throw any shade. You got Manu Vunipola starting at 10. You still got Ben Spencer. Will Skelton's still playing. Mauro Toje, Ezekwe's there. Lazowski, Brad Barrett, Lewington, Shagan, who was really good in his last game that I saw. But I mean, you look at the guys not playing. There's no Daly, no Maitland. I don't know how many of these guys are injured, but no Taylor, no Farrell, neither Vunipola aside from Manu. So I'm talking no Billy, no Manu. Mako. Jeez, they both start with him. There is a Manu, there is no Mako. No Vincent Koch. So they're resting a whole bunch of guys, which again, I totally understand. So, but I mean, the Welsh international Reece Curry's there on the bench. So it's not a walkover. I still think it'll be a tough game. It's kind of why I'm keen to see how this one goes. But do you remember when Saracens took their kind of second string side to Racing in the opening round, and they kind of got put to the sword? So that's kind of what Munster needs to do here. Imagine if they could get a bonus point win. That would be phenomenal. But the forecasts, the algorithm's got Munster only by the solitary point. So saying look more for a win than a bonus point win. The bookies have got Munster by 7. But yeah, I really think this is an opportune game for Munster to gain a bit of ground after drawing that game against Racing 92. So yeah, important one. Very, very important. I mean, Saracens will just take whatever they can get out of this one. They're playing a second string side, with due respect to some of the top, and very good players. Even the second string guys at this level are still, very, very class players. But yeah, it's going to be tough. And the last one, speaking of tough, Ospreys, who are none from 2 thus far. They are bottom of the pool on 0 points. They are hosting Racing 92. And yeah, Racing will definitely also be under a bit of pressure to pick up a win here, because between these three, Munster, Saracens, and Racing, Ospreys seem to be the kind of the one that's not in consideration. So the team that all of these teams are looking to beat with a bonus point. So that's kind of the mission for Racing here. But I mean, when I look at the Ospreys side, there's still, again, there's class in there, despite the fact that by all accounts they are not having their best year. You got Lydiot there, he's captaining from 6. I expect him to make a whole bunch of tackles. Interestingly, Marty McKenzie gets a crack at number 10 for Ospreys. He's Damien McKenzie's brother. He's not as good as Damien McKenzie. He's an okay player. At Super Rugby level, he gets found out a wee bit. At Mitre 10 Cup level, he looks pretty solid. Yeah, he played a fair bit for the Chiefs last year. And he's not Damien McKenzie. He's still a good player, man. I mean, I can't compare with that guy, but geez, it sucks when you got a younger brother who is just kind of phenomenal level. Still, Watkins there, Smith's there propping up the scrum. So Adam Baird there in the second row. So there's still plenty to like about that side. But I wouldn't be relying on Marty McKenzie to kick you to success. You look at the Racing side though, you got Zebo at fullback, Teddy Toma, Vakatawa, Shavon C's captain, Imhoff, Finn Russell, Machino. You got internationals throughout the side, LaRue, Donica Ryan, Palu, Klassen, Aribaren's on the bench, Vonavola. That being said, Racing are only 6-point favourites by the algorithm, so Rugby Forecast, and 12 points by the bookies. So that's kind of more where I'm at. But hopefully Ospreys at home really lift and put on a bit of a show. Interestingly, Marvin Ori is on the bench. Okay. Solid player at Super Rugby. Hopefully he learns a bit, because he needs to up his game if he's going to threaten more for a Springbok jersey in the side, which is full of good locks. But yeah. It's going to be a tough ask for Ospreys, but again, hopefully at home they can put some pride in the jersey and put in a good performance. So, yeah, those are the 6 games. If I only get to see 2, I am planning on that one and that one. Northampton, Leinster, and Munster Saracens. If I get to see 3, I would probably add either Ulster Harlequins or Glasgow La Rochelle. I anticipate this one not to matter in the long run. That's Lyon against Benetton, and I would imagine that Racing is probably going to do a job over Ospreys. All due respect, but there we go. You guys let me know your thoughts. How do you think these games are going to go? Any particular players that I haven't mentioned that you think need looking out for? And yeah, like the video if you enjoyed it. I managed to get it done before my daughter woke up, which is awesome, because I put her down around lunchtime and looked at all the teams, and it's now like 2 o'clock, so she's had about a 2-hour sleep, so giving me enough time to get all the content ready and yeah, record the video. So yeah, cheers guys, and I will talk to you again soon. See you later.